What do all these Pokemon have in common? Yup, they're all from Unova. Nothing else in common, just a simple geographical similarity they all share, along with their typing of Dark type. Unova really went out when it came to designing its Dark type Pokemon. All of them look so incredible. It's amazing how they nailed it with every single one of them. Like, I genuinely wouldn't mind having an all Dark type Unova team, especially since some of them have second typings. However, what if we were to pick only one, let's say the best of the best? The one that would be able to do its best in a Unova journey by itself? Well, how about we find out? This is the first one of the series, but this is the first time that all the Pokemon in this list are actually available in at least one of Generation 5's games. So, thank goodness we don't have to defy time and physics to get a Pokemon this time. Unfortunately, there's a trade-off for this. And here we have our very first example of this. On number 7, we have Mandibuzz. Wow, what a cool looking Pokemon. Does it have anything going for it? Why is it at the bottom of the list? Let's start with the positives. It's got solid defenses and health points. It should be able to take a little beating, but that's about it. Everything else, it kinda sucks. Availability wise, it's available until the very end of the game, so it won't be useful for anything. Hell, not even the Elite Four. But it's a Dark type, it should be able to take many Pokemon there. I mean, sure, it's got a few good moves on its arsenal. Air Slash, Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball, Rock Tomb, solid moves. Unfortunately, none of those moves will even make a dent on your opponent unless you overlevel your Pokemon. Because if you didn't know, Volcarona evolves into Mandibuzz until level 54, basically being overleveled for the Elite Four. And that's not the biggest crime in the world, but also, if you're going to overlevel your Pokemon, you might as well overlevel a Pokemon that is so much better. But then again, you probably won't even have encountered this Pokemon, because it's only available in Pokemon Black and Black 2. So, why am I going deep into this? In number 6 we have
Bisharp.
Just had to make sure. I do want to start by saying, what a cool design Bisharp has. It's so cool looking and amazing, and I really like it, even if I don't use it that much. Why don't I use it that much, you ask? Well, it's because it's only accessible until the very end. That's probably going to be my response to every Pokemon I like that I don't use. It's a shame because it has amazing physical attack, and combine them with pretty good physical moves like Iron Head, Night Slash, Slash, Dig, Brick Break, Aerial Ace, Shadow Claw, X-Scissor, and others. Really, you can face any enemy and take it out. Too bad its only major battles will be the last gym, which it won't be pretty useful, and the Elite Four, which will at least it will be good. That is though, if you also overlevel it to make it evolve and make it useful for these final battles. Yikes, another Pokemon that takes a lot of effort that won't be that useful. Again, if you're going to overlevel a Pokemon for the Elite Four, you might as well pick a Pokemon that's really good. But hey, at least this one isn't version exclusive. In number 5, we have Liepard. Now, here's an interesting Pokemon to talk about, because interestingly enough, you can actually get this Pokemon at the beginning of our journey, as early as Route 2, meaning that it can potentially help you from start to finish in your Unova journey. Cool! Show me which gyms it can be really helpful for! Oh my. Yeah, despite having early availability, it just isn't a very good Pokemon. Like, sure, it gets some alright moves, like Night Slash, Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace, but none of them will be useful with its stats. Not only does it have average attack stats, but it's also weak. I'd say we should put a fragile sticker on it, but like, I'm scared it's gonna do a lot of damage to it. It's just really weak. But if used properly, it could be somewhat of an asset, it just will not hold its own. In number 4, we have Hydreigon. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
How dare you put an overpowered Pokemon on this list, missing the top 3? This is complete and utter nonsense! What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, good luck evolving this Pokemon for the Elite Four. Yeah, that's right. Not only does it join the club of Pokemon that evolve until the end of time, but also, we might as well put a subtitle to that club because they're all accessible right at the end of the game. This is why you never see anyone with a Hydreigon on their team. It's genuinely not worth it. It's an amazing Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Its stats are all to die for, like holy moly. And it also gets really good moves. Dragon Pulse, Crunch, Acrobatics, Bulldoze, Stone Edge, and more. Plus, it will be pretty amazing in the Elite Four and the final battles. It's just a shame you have to grind so much to get this Pokemon to evolve. But you know how I've been saying that if you're going to overlevel a Pokemon for the Elite Four, you might as well get a really good one? this is it. I mean, I don't recommend it, but if you really want to overlevel a Pokemon, you might as well pick this one and completely thrash those final bosses. Good luck grinding though. Winning the bronze medal of dark types, we have Zoroark. I'll just start out by saying it, you can't catch this Pokemon in Pokemon Black and White because it's event exclusive. But you can catch it in Pokemon Black and White too. Yeah, I get picky and say that this Pokemon should be lower in the list because it's only accessible in 2 out of the 4 games, but also, almost everyone before Zoroark is basically post-game or it evolves stupid late. So congrats Zoroark, thank god we have the ability to use in your Pokemon journey. Still don't get why you weren't accessible in the original game. Even then, Zoroark will have limited use in a Pokemon journey, mostly facing only one Pokemon in an important battle, like Skyla's Zubat or Marlin's Jellicent. It will have a solid moveset, with moves like Night Slash, Dig, Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace. Nothing out of this world really. It also evolves at a decent level, so you'll be able to have a strong Pokemon when needed, and won't have a whole baby to take care of. So really, it's not an amazing Pokemon for the Unova games. It's honestly just this high up because the others are just not it. Still a really cool looking Pokemon though. Winning the silver medal of dark types in Unova games goes to Krookodile. Whoa, number 2. I know, right? I'm also surprised to see this bad boy number 2. However, it's still an amazing Pokemon. It's got really good physical attack where you basically can destroy anyone in front of you. Combine that with really good speed and you will always go first in a battle. And combine that with an amazing move pool, it will be pretty useful for a lot of battles. Foul Play, Dig, Dragon Tail, Rock Tomb, Shadow Claw, Brick Break, and more. Unfortunately, ground types don't do that well in Unova. A lot of gym leaders counter it pretty well, which unfortunately makes Krookodile a liability, even if it had strong attacks against some of these Pokemon. But it will be pretty good against the Elite Four. All but Marshall will be a walk in the park, and honestly, even if it won't be super effective against many Pokemon, it still has pretty strong attacks that it probably won't need to be super effective. And it evolves at a decent level. Rejoice! And winning the gold medal for Unova Dark types is Scrafty. If you've watched my Pokemon Black Nuzlocke, which you should totally watch if you haven't, you know how much I despise Scraggies. A part of me thought they were just a gimmicky Pokemon that Team Plasma found a way to make really, really annoying. But to my surprise, it's actually pretty good Pokemon. Look at those stats, just not the special attack. Not only does it have pretty solid physical attack, but it will be a defense beast. 115 physical and special defense is nothing to sneeze at, so you'll pretty much be untouchable in the right battle. And with a pretty good move pool, you'll be even more fine in a battle. Brick Break, Crunch, Facade, Sludge Bomb, Rock Tomb, Dragon Tail. You're so fine. Believe me, you're so fine in battle. And because you can catch a Scraggy pretty early, it will be pretty useful for many gym battles. Bergen Elise with Rock Tomb, Clay's Krokorok, and Bryson in Black and White. And Elite Four wise, you could potentially go after all of them. Just be careful with Marshall. Scrafty is a pretty good Pokemon, and honestly, I highly recommend giving it a shot if you haven't used one in your Pokemon journey. Take it from me when I say, if Team Plasma can make it a living hell facing them, then what's stopping you? What a list, am I right? It's a really big shame a lot of these Pokemon are either available so late or evolve so late. It really doesn't get you the chance to use them in the regular Unova Pokemon journey. However, if you were to build a team for the post-game and face the Elite Four and Champion again, these guys could really be a giant asset. But for regular old Pokemon journeys? Not really. Honestly, it makes me wish some of them evolved sooner. But I am glad these Pokemon still get their love, because they're pretty cool Pokemon. And hey, maybe they're pretty useful in other regions. But in Unova, unfortunately, a lot of them fade to obscurity. Get it?